Okay, don't mind the background. Good morning, good afternoon, hello, wherever you are. Welcome to Goddess Love Healings on YouTube. This is my channel, and I am a spirit communicator, channeler, and I have a business on Thumbtack. And I thought, how cool would it be communication? Because as an empath, I am collective consciousness, and I'm a master intuitive life coach on Thumbtack. So I got a lot of clients coming in there that want help with marriage and relationships. So I thought, how cool would it be to come on here and do this live video? Again, forget what it looks like on the background, just starting out. Love to be here. This is my passion, my mission, my purpose of being, and kind of like a storyteller. I did it, now I get to give it back to you. Okay, so my intention is always to bring peace, love, light, and healing from my heart to your heart, into your life, your marriage, your relationships, whatever that is for you. So I chose how we communicate with ourselves and how it impacts all the relationships in our life. And I got some notes I wrote down I probably can't see it, but I'm going to kind of be looking over here and looking back at you and following. So communication and how we communicate with ourselves and how that affects all of our relationships, including the relationship with ourselves first. Okay. So you might have seen some different channels that I've built on here, created, and had a lot to do with self-love, self-care, and just self. Okay. So I took a path and I signed up for it with God, Creator, all that is, universe, whatever it is to you. I learned that my beliefs I was misguided, and I didn't have the option of choosing how I wanted to live my life. So growing up, I can't say it was horribly bad my whole entire life as far as communication, but I did learn at a very young, impressionable age. And now my children are bringing it to their children. And I thought, how cool would that be if I could step in and be this role in my own life, in my own family, immediate family, and spread this ripple effect and clear, release, delete, transmute, and alchemize it, and with forgiveness and peace and harmony and happiness in my own life, which I have done. Needless to say, it was not an easy journey, and it starts with healing the inner child. And that's why I chose this topic, because all my clients on Thumbtack need help in marriage and relationships. And as far as my parents' marriage and relationships, I got to dive back into and give it life again. So I did that. I went deep within myself, in the deepest part of my being, in my soul. And I said, I want to make a change. I want this to be my legacy that will help others. And here we are. So we're in already almost 5 minutes, and so glad to be here. Glad you're here. This is a timeless reading, channeling. That's what I am. I am a channeler, and I get to dive and review my subconscious to teach you how to live a better life for yourself. So we're going to start with that, communication. And the other thing we're going to dive into is conflict. Okay, so communication that is not in a happy space or a loving space is always cause conflict. Okay. So from the ages 0 to 7, we're in the wombs of our mothers. And we pick up and we're very impressionable to the voices of our parents and those who's mainly around us a lot. And as I don't remember that, but it is said in how I retrained my own life, I rewrote my whole complete life and story was healing the inner child wounds. So impressionable. When you're in the womb, you hear this screaming, this yelling, you don't know what it is, but it just becomes, you become the sponge and you soak it up. Okay. And then, of course, you got the energy of feeling and emotions, and the thought that's going through the womb, uh, very impressionable for a baby in there. So, I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I'm going to take my time because I want to show up 110%. Okay, so I don't know who this is for. However, let's talk about it. So I started this journey of self-reflection because all my relationships, I didn't understand why they just weren't working out. Okay, and that means my guide's here. Don't mind me, it's in my nose. But marriage and relationships is the surface to look at and be healed. So communication with ourselves is very important. Growing up, we hear and we see and we feel the way our parents' marriage is and their way of communicating, and our siblings and our grandparents and so on and so forth. So what I was thinking and what I had to do, well, I got to do to change my life and how my relationship showed up was to change the communication with myself. Like, I used to say I was dumb and I was stupid and I didn't know what others knew. Well, I didn't need to know what others knew. I needed to know what I was supposed to know. And well, we didn't have that opportunity because we weren't given it. We weren't told we had a choice. Now I have a choice, and I chose to communicate to myself at a higher vibration and to use my own authentic voice to say, I love you, Amy. I love you. I love all that you are, all that you will ever be, all that you ever have been, stuff like this. I built my own communication and retrained my brain and my heart to love me, so I didn't seek love outside myself anymore. I seeked it within. And I got to self-reflect on that. Because I used to say so many things, you can't get that job, enough for that job. You don't have the background. You don't have the education and all that. I mean, there's just things that we say to ourselves like, oh, those wrinkles. Oh, why don't I have green eyes? And, I got brown eyes. You just do. That's called self-acceptance. The Creator built you perfect. And when I say perfect, meaning every imperfection that you grew up seeing, and this became your belief, was to have you expand and grow in the soul. It wasn't just about the physical experience. It was also in the physical experience to grow in the soul. So I changed the way I communicated to myself. It was very important. And I'll have you know, with the intention of the ripple effect and clearing like this energy and DNA of self-defense, like fight or flight, in a relationship. I got to have the relationship that I'm in now was completely different and unique. It's I don't want to get into labels, but it's like the twin flame journey. You attract the energy that you are, and it's always been. You are number one, the twin flame. You have masculine and feminine energy. And we were in a self conflict with that energy. And it was because of the limited beliefs and the patterns and the habits that we were taught and shown and heard and felt we had to adopt and adapt to growing up in our own lives and raising our own kids and so important. Why it affects other people is because we have this non-physical vibrational energy. And so when you're feeling inside yourself like the biggest piece of shit, and I'll have I did, and I felt unworthy, and I had no self-worth. I had no recognition of my own values in life. I didn't know my likes and dislikes. Maybe you can relate to that. So that's healing the inner child wound. I took that inner journey through self-reflection, to feel emotion and compassion and not judgment towards myself anymore, where I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel lovable. I felt rejection, drama, just so much on the outside of my life. Okay. So I took the inner journey and I changed it first with communication, and my thoughts just changed. So I created this ritual every day. I show up for myself and commit to myself because I too have a voice. I am important. And maybe you can relate to where you just never felt that way. You felt lost and you had no idea how to live in the world or how you're supposed to be and communicate. So with that being said, like all the clients I have are marriage and relationships. That's the key. Okay, first you communicate and marry yourself, which is your non-physical energy as well. Okay, so the ripple effect and the vibration that we send out, you cannot see. Okay, but other people outside of you, your exterior reality, everybody might not be able to see it, but they can feel this energy that, something's off with this person. They're not authentic with their self, so they're definitely not going to be authentic with me. They feel that, okay? I don't know how, I don't know. It's just part of the journey, okay? So enjoy the journey. Start communicating to yourself. Like, I love you, Amy, is what I would say to me. I love all that you are. Love your ego. Love all aspects of who you ever been, ever will be. Love all your creations. Love everything that you thought was a failure or a loss. Love that. Love all of that, because it's only going to help you grow stronger mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and etherically. And etherically is the non-physical energy, which is spirit guides, angels, God energy, creative force, that pure creative force. And this is your birthright. Okay. So this is your birthright. This was my mission, my legacy, and I love it. And I feel dead and empty inside if I am not doing this and I'm not creating. And I haven't been because I let that ego get in my way. I let the ego take over when instead, as I switched the communication to myself, there was no more inner conflict. I said, you know what? I have a voice. You know, I'm just as beautiful and poised as anybody out there. And this is what I want you to communicate to yourself and to know. And on the heart level and the soul level, this is how you retrain your brain. This is how you retrain how you feel inside the self so the outside can feel it, that non-physical part that I'm talking about. So feel emotion and feeling compassion and not judging yourself. You know, even when you think you're failing, you're not. You're just not meeting other people's expectations of what they wanted for you. So take a step back, self reflect on that, and don't let it become what it was for me. And maybe you're already doing this. Maybe you're already on this healing the inner child wounds. And I want to be clear that there is no one to blame. None of us knew that there was this vibrational energy that reflected to our partners, our love life, our friendships, our teammates, you know, whoever. So you get to choose your role and how you want to be in life. You get to totally retrain your brain, heal the heart and the mind and the body. That being said, I got some key things I want to focus on. So when we're in conflict with our partner, all right, and we want to react, we have to self-reflect right there in that moment. And this is what my current relationship taught me, because all the other ones, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. You know, it wasn't that I didn't love them and I didn't put in 110% like I do in this one. I just wasn't my true authentic self. Okay. So now I'm my true authentic self, and I can come from that place of unconditional love and compassion. And my life is full of joy and also hardship. It's not that the hard stuff's going to go away, because there's still work to be done. There's always something that you get to self-reflect on and grow spiritually from, which when you do this is your birthright. This is how creator, God, universe, whatever it is to you, can come in, higher self, whatever, angels, guides, even your ancestors. And this is who's helping me. As I am an intuitive master psychic medium, I get to bring in my ancestors and break the chain. Just break the chain of how you communicate with yourself, because that right alone is going to reflect to your partner. Okay, so once you're leaving something left unsaid and you're sitting here wondering, I'm not getting nothing from this relationship. I'm not getting nothing from this. There's no communication here. He's like, you have to understand that every person, forgive me, spirit guides, does not feel and communicate or think the same way you do. So you get to self-reflect on that. You get to offer that with emotion and feel compassion and not judging the other person for being absent and not being who you want them to be or you expect them to be. They can't be that. You have to be it first. So, yeah, I did that. It's amazing. So we get to communicate differently with ourselves first and foremost, which changes our own mental conflict and emotional conflict that reflects in the non-physical vibration. And you will attract exact person you need. And this is from your higher self, God, whatever it is to you. She or he will, and no gender base, because of the masculine and feminine energy in self is what you get to balance and equalize. Um, and that'll be another video. But I wanted to get this one out there at 2:36. That's my birthday, 6/23. So with that being said, so the key is marriage and relationships. Okay, whether we're unmarried and we're seeking counseling maybe before we get married is really important, because you want to learn this. You want to learn these things, the how you can better serve yourself to serve your relationships better. Okay, more loving and compassionate relationships, not the ones that reflect your wounds, because that is how it happens. If you do not change your thoughts and change your life through how you communicate with self, how you have your habits, your daily habits, your patterns, whatever it is, nothing will change. Okay? So start with self, start communicating, and you want to commit at least, I say 30 days, 33, because the Holy Trinity, I use 33 days. It works when you show up for you. Like I kept showing up and I kept showing up and I kept showing up, and I literally left my hometown, and that was because of my dysfunctional family. Okay. And yes, they still are there, and some are not. Some have shown that they have, it's like I'm a way shower. I'm a way shower. The only way out is through the darkness. And what I mean by that is through the dark side of the self, you can get to the light of the self, meaning the higher self, the inner light being. And then that non-physical energy is shifted and you attract like-minded. Okay, no more trauma, drama, none of that. You have the tools you need to align and be able to communicate with yourself first. And it's a daily ritual and practice. Maybe a meditation, get out of nature, breathing exercise. Okay. I got more videos out there on that, and I'm going to keep showing up. And this was the most important. Okay. The communication. Okay. So if you want a healthy relationship, you must be healthy within self first. And that's how we're made in God's image. We get that. We get that. That is our birthright. And you can call it whatever you want. No labels. I am 100% human and 100% spirit. But I came here. I was chosen to awaken to my truth. Okay, to mine. Most of my life and my relationship patterns and habits were all created through what I witnessed at a very young, impressionable age, and I believed even in the society. Okay, it's not just the parents; it's the society, it's the groups of separation in the religion. We're spirit. Just be yourself. Believe in what you want to believe in. Create your own reality through self-reflection. And that's how it's done. I love this. I love this. This is my life, my life's work. And I mean life's work because I had I felt the non-physical energy at 8 years old. And that's when I started to chase my dreams and desires of being who I am today. And I'm 47 years old. And like I said, this is timeless. Okay. It's timeless. You got all the time in the world to retrain your life and your brain and let go of carrying all that other stuff that does not belong to you. This is why you experience rejection from your marriage or your partner, is because you have all these people in your head, their ideas, their everything that you can think of. Okay. This is your ego mind saying, I need to keep you safe. I need to keep you safe. So I'm going to send this person to reject you. And I'm going to send this person to no longer love you. And this person, whatever, you know. Um, so very important. Communication with yourself, and there won't be no conflict on the exterior. Okay? And the non-physical want you to show up for you so this can change. This is the end of time as you knew it to be. Healing the inner child wounds has been an amazing journey for me. And I can now connect to my own heart and my own feelings and my own thoughts of what I want for my life and what I want to give back to you as a legacy, and to my children and to my children's children and to my descendants that I won't even meet. So break the chain of the ancestry patterns, habits. This is truly not about a DNA. It is just an energy. It's an energy and a belief system that you have built around your own life, and how to expect so much from other people when they cannot give you that. They cannot. So let go of expectations and work on the self-reflection. Let's see what I leave out. Yeah, so the rejection are the voices in our heads. That's the key. When you know you're in this lower energy, that's not your authentic self. Your authentic self does not focus on sickness. It focuses on better well-being and unconditional love. Okay? Unconditional love. You already are the light of the world. Just step into it. Your voice has power. Okay? And it's important how we use that voice, because when we're using it and it doesn't feel like love and it's hurting another intentionally or unintentionally, because we do that with having all this emotional wounds, mental and emotional and physical experience of trauma, drama, addictions, conflict, abuse that was mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it is to you. Whew. So, this is what I learned in my current relationship. Okay. So, with you being both energies, masculine and feminine, both, okay, you can align the whole self, connect and meet your true, authentic you. Okay. And it's not saying stop loving everybody, because you still love them. You just have a choice now. You get to realize you have a choice. Do I want to keep putting up with this trauma, drama, gossip, bullshit? Or do I want to find inner peace? So my exterior will reflect and heal. Okay. That's how it is. That's how it's done. That's the magic of the universe. That's the magic that you carry within yourself. That is your important part of being, existing, and being able to create and uncreate. So that'll probably be my next video. And that's also too about communication. There was a few things. So remember, 30-day ritual, whatever that is to you. If you want to pick one area of your life, it has to start with the self. So reflect when you want to react, you want to scream at your partner, and you want to reject them, self-reflect, okay? Because they really don't want that. That's not them, that's you. But But then when it's vice versa, it's them. Okay. So if you know you're putting in 110% and you're always self reflecting and you're always being conscious of how you communicate to others, like my voice now, I'm communicating from a place of unconditional love and feeling emotion and compassion, no judgment. I don't hope, I pray that helps. That's my intention, to bring you healing. And we're having a connection problem. So I live in the rural areas and I'm remodeling my home, and I haven't been able to show up because of that rejection, them voices in my head saying, nope, it's got to look a certain way, it's got to be and feel a certain way. I couldn't do that. All right. So here I am. I'm showing up. I love being here. I want to take my time. I'm really using Hotspot because it does no good to have the top internet out here. It just is. But that's how you change your life. That's how you rewrite your story, recreate your entire reality. Okay. So it's also about the society and we visually see it. Okay. That's how we was taught to see it, how to look at it. So change that. I could just go with the flow, see what happens. But I built up so much resilience in myself that I refuse. Okay, I'm rebellious. I refuse, and I'm going to bring out, and I want you to bring out and step into your power, your voice, your mission, your passion, your everything. However you want to create it, that is how it's done. So, okay, I'm going to stop the video. I love you all. Thank you for coming to my videos. And that's it. I think I pretty much covered what I wanted to do as far as the communication. So change that. Change is good. It's just like making it familiar. What was familiar before, make that unfamiliar and build something new, a new way, your way. Not voices in your head or all these stuck emotions. The past is gone. Okay, the past is gone. I'm not saying it's just about reviewing it. So you don't have to relive it when you self-reflect. You get to review and say, okay, well, I can forgive that now that I know, now that I'm aware that even my parents and my grandparents and 7 generations of DNA before that had the same thing, had the same way to communicate with yourself. See, kind of just, I forgot I had my lovely cup of coffee. So if you have any questions, please leave it in the chat box. If I get that message, I respond quickly, as I do on Thumbtack. So I'm a spiritual divine guidance counselor. On Thumbtack, I do marriage and relationships. So even if you're trying to get married and you want to learn before you jump into a marriage, I would do it. Definitely get some counseling because it's going to make a big difference in our world. Not that anything is wrong with the world. It's just them wounds and how we communicate with ourselves and reflect that back to others. That is our wound. When we're angry and we're at these low vibrations, remember, that's the key sign that you are in a wound. You are being triggered by your partner on purpose. Okay, that's the whole purpose of the mirror reflection in others. So just take a step back when you want to react and say, I have a choice, and I'm going to choose love. I'm going to find my inner voice, my true authentic self, and I'm going to feel emotion for my partner right now, because when I do that, there's no judgment. There's no judgment on me, and there's no judgment on my partner, and it gets across on the non physical vibrational energy. That is how it's done. So, I hope to see you in the comments. Ask me anything you want. Um, I'm just a master intuitive life coach. I've been trained my entire life by God, the universe, all that is, higher self. Um, this is my mission, my passion, my purpose of being. This is yours too. I'm a light worker, a way shower. I'm a star seed, twin flame, you name it. That's what I am. And I love who I am today. And it's not that I didn't love who I was then, I just didn't understand it. And I wanted better for myself. And now I get to create better for myself, which is a way sure for my children and my grandchildren and descendants, right? So that is the legacy that you want to leave behind. And it can only be done by you. Nobody else can do it. So watch the reflection outside of you. Those who trigger you and want to do it intentionally are not for your greatest and highest good. You'll know. You'll learn to use discernment through building it with self. Setting healthy boundaries. Like if you have a dysfunctional family and you're on the spiritual awakening path, or you're trying to heal the inner child wounds, you get to choose to step out of their lives for a while and allow them to reflect and say, well, whatever it is, because obviously our siblings will have it too, and our children and our grandchildren. And this is the legacy. This is my legacy. I'm the first one to do it. So I will clear, delete, transmute, alchemize with peace, love, forgiveness into the ethers, right? This is what I do. This is my power. This is my gift. And that is because I awakened. I awakened my true, authentic self, my voice that's been screaming to get out. So, with that being said, I love you all. Peace, love, and light. And until next time, enjoy the journey.